Hey guys, for today's video, I will cover Yuzuha's kit and everything else you need to reach your full potential. I'll cover what discs to use, what engines to use, and what teams. For her kit, her core passive, Whimsical Wonder, immediately gives her 3 sugar points, and she can have up to 6 sugar points. When her EX special and or her ultimate hits an enemy, all squad members receive the Tanuki Wish effect. The Tanuki Wish effect grants an attack increase equal to 40% of Yuzuha's initial attack up to a maximum increase of 1200, and increases the damage dealt by those with the effect by 15%, lasting for 40 seconds. Repeated triggers to this effect reset the duration, and if Yuzuha's initial attack reaches 3000, she grants the full attack bonus to all squad members. For her additional ability, the more the merrier, it states that when another character in your squad is an anomaly character or shares the same faction as her, if Yuzuha's anomaly mastery exceeds 100, every point over increases the anomaly build-up rate of characters with Tanuki Wish by 0.2% up to a maximum of 20%, and attribute anomaly damage and disorder damage by 0.2%, also up to a maximum of 20%. When Yuzuha's anomaly mastery is at 200, she grants the full buff effect. For her basic attack, when holding her basic attack, she uses Tanuki Cloak. This attack lets her enter a stance and counter once hit to deal a massive amount of daze. When she successfully parries, she recovers 1 sugar point, and she's invulnerable for that attack. For her basic attack, Hard Candy Shot, Yuzuha continuously twirls her umbrella and attacks centered around the target before launching a powerful shell, dealing physical damage if another active character lands an attack. When this attack lands a heavy hit, Yuzuha consumes 1 sugar point. This attack is considered an aftershock. She's invulnerable during this attack, and this attack can be triggered once every 8 seconds. For her other basic attack, Sugar Burst Sparkles, enemies under the effect of Sweet Scare will be attacked by the basic attack, Sugar Burst Sparkles, once every 1 second. This attack initially deals physical damage. It does not contribute its accumulated attribute anomaly buildup towards anomaly damage calculation, and its anomaly buildup rate increases by 25%. Enemies affected by Sweet Scare will also be attacked by a basic attack, Sugar Burst Sparkles, when hits with a heavy attack from the basic attack, Hard Candy Shot, or her assist follow-up, Stuffed Hard Candy Shot. The Sweet Scare state lasts for 40 seconds, and repeated triggers reset the duration. The Sweet Scare state makes it so that when an enemy affected by this state is hit by another active character, Yuzuha's basic attacks' attributes are changed to the same attribute of that active character's attribute. When Sweet Scare is triggered again on an enemy, their existing flavor match state is removed, and this process will repeat over and over. For basic attack, Tanuki Helper, when Yuzuha is off field, Tanuki Kama assists the active character in attacking enemies, dealing physical damage. When Yuzuha performs basic attack Tanuki Cloak, Tanuki Kama joins her in attacking the enemy, dealing physical damage, and Tanuki Kama inherits Yuzuha's initial attack. For her defensive assist, Fun Supply, she deals massive daze and recovers 1 sugar point if she successfully parries. For her assist follow-up, we have Cookies. After triggering a defensive assist or successfully parrying an enemy attack with the basic attack Tanuki Cloak, press to deal physical damage. For her assist follow-up, Stuffed Hard Candy Shot, after triggering a defensive assist or successfully parrying an enemy attack with basic attack Tanuki Cloak, press at the right moments to activate a following and continuously spinning umbrella attack, which fires a powerful projectile that deals physical damage. For her EX special attack, Cavity Alert, she deals physical damage, it inflicts the Sweet Scare state upon hitting an enemy with a heavy attack, and she restores 2 sugar points upon activation. A Quick Assist is triggered when this attack hits an enemy and she is invulnerable while using this attack. She can also instantly use her EX special attack by pressing right after using her dodge counter, Quick Assist, or any one of her assist follow-up, or when a perfect dodge is triggered. For her chain attack, Prank Assault, she deals massive physical damage and restores 1 sugar point. A Quick Assist is triggered when this skill hits an enemy and she is invulnerable while using the skill. For her ultimate, Surrender or Suffer the Mischief, she deals massive physical damage, and enemies hit with a heavy attack are inflicted with the Sweet Scare state. Upon activating the skill, other squad members gain 25 energy and she recovers 2 sugar points. A Quick Assist is triggered when the skill hits an enemy and she is invulnerable while using the skill. So even though her kit section was 685 words long, her playstyle is actually fairly simple, since Yuzuha is the Astra Yao for anomaly characters. She's an incredible anomaly support who works on practically any anomaly team, meaning that she's only there to give your actually complicated anomaly characters a ton of buffs. Still, she does have a few ideal combos you could do to increase your team's DPS. For her first combo, all you have to do is press, not hold, her EX special, aka just use the short version of her EX special when swapping out to her. You also want to do this because it contributes less to physical anomaly buildup, which is good on physical anomaly teams like with Jane or Alice, because it dilutes the damage of assault less DPS than her held EX special. For her other combo, when using her parry or defensive assist, make sure to immediately press her basic attack so that she triggers the Sugar Burst Sparkles attack. Keep in mind that to trigger her Sugar Burst Sparkles attack, the enemy needs to be in the Sweet Scare state, and that this combo isn't always ideal, and is dependent on whether you would rather reduce your assault damage by diluting it with her physical anomaly application, if it means that you can have more physical anomaly application. But for most of the time, this combo should give your team more DPS. For her stats, she's gonna want 3000 or more attack so that she can reach her course's full potential, that being the 1200 attack increase to all party members. She's also gonna want 200 or more anomaly proficiency and 171 anomaly mastery, or 201 if she has her signature engine, so that she can make the most out of her course's ability, that being the anomaly and disorder damage increase she gives to all allies based off of her anomaly mastery. For her engines, her signature engine is going to be her best since it gives her 30 anomaly proficiency for 40 seconds when her EX special or ultimate deals physical damage, which allows her to reach her course's full potential by letting her achieve 201 anomaly proficiency, and it gives her 60 anomaly mastery to all party members when her aftershock hits an enemy for 40 seconds as well. For a 5-star alternative, the Weeping Cradle is also good because it gives her off-field energy. It increases the damage allies do by 10% for 3 seconds when she hits an enemy, which she will constantly be doing, and it increases this buff by 1.7% every 0.5 seconds. That equates to an additional damage increase of 10.2%, resulting in a 20.2% damage increase. Keep in mind that repeated triggers only increase the duration of this effect, not the damage increasing for every 0.5 seconds effect. It also has a pen ratio main stat of 24%. For another 5-star alternative, the Elegant Vanity engine would also be good because it gives her 5 energy when a character swaps onto the field every 5 seconds, and when the equipper consumes 25 or more energy, the damage dealt by all squad members increases by 10, stacking up to 2 times and lasting for 20 seconds. Keep in mind that repeated triggers refresh the duration, and only one instance of this effect can exist in the same squad. It also has a 30% attack main stat, which will be good for hitting those stat requirements. For a 4-star alternative, the Kaboom the Cannon engine would also be good because when any friendly unit in the squad attacks and hits an enemy, all friendly units attack increases by 4% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. The duration of each stack is calculated separately, and each friendly unit can provide 1 stack of the buff. Keep in mind that the passive effects of the same name do not stack. It also has a 50% energy regen for its main stat. For another 4-star alternative, the Unfeathered Game Ball engine would also be viable because whenever the equipper's attack triggers an attribute counter effect, all squad members' crit rate against the struck enemy increases by 20% for 12 seconds. Keep in mind that the bonuses triggered by the same type of passive effects do not stack, and it also has a 50% energy regen for its main stat. For her discs, you can use a 4-piece Protopunk set with a 2-piece Fate Senses Melody set so that she increases the damage dealt by allies by 15% for 10 seconds whenever she does an assist, which she will often do, and her anomaly mastery will be increased by 8%, which will help her reach her stat requirements. For another build, you can use a 4-piece Swing Jazz with a 2-piece Fate Senses Melody set because it gives her 20% energy regen, and it increases all squad members' damage by 15% for 12 seconds when launching an ultimate or chain attack, which doesn't really synergize with her much more than the Protopunk set does, and the damage dealt up time is less, but it does give her a nice energy regen for its 2-piece effect. And then of course, the Fate Senses Melody set also increases her anomaly mastery by 8%, which once again is really good because it helps her reach those requirement stats. But for a physical anomaly team build, you can run the Freedom Blues 4-piece set and the 2-piece Fate Senses Melody set because the 2-piece bonus from the Freedom Blue set increases her anomaly proficiency by 30, which helps her reach those stat requirements, and the 4-piece bonus set reduces the target's anomaly buildup rest to equipper's attribute by 20% for 8 seconds when an EX special hits an enemy, which is really good considering that she's going to act as a support for anomaly DPS. Keep in mind, this effect does not stack with others of the same attribute. For her 4th disc, you're going to want attack percentage. For her 5th disc, you're also going to want attack percentage. And for her 6th disc, you're going to want anomaly mastery. For her teams, she pretty much works on every team, even on non-anomaly teams like with Ji-Xuan because of how good of a support she is. Though there is definitely a difference between her and Astra Yao's performance on non-anomaly teams. So in comparison to Astra Yao, Yuzuha is only a really good alternative. Still, she works way better on anomaly teams with a main DPS like Miyabi, Yanagi, Alice, Jane, Piper, and Grace, combined with an off-field anomaly character like Vivian, Grace, or Bernice. You can also run a quick swap character like Miyabi or Yanagi. With this in mind, Yuzuha's best team will be Miyabi, Vivian, and Yuzuha, with Yanagi Fergie and Bernice working as off-field alternatives to Vivian, and Grace working as a decent free-to-play alternative. She could also resuscitate the physical anomaly DPS from Meta Death, Jane, when ran alongside Piper, as long as Yuzuha has the Freedom Blues disc set. She's also going to be an extremely good support for Alice, ran alongside Piper when she releases. Keep in mind that when running the majority of your teams, you're going to want to order your team so that Yuzuha swaps into your main carry so that she can help with anomaly application. Because of this, your main carry will oftentimes be able to swap out their 6th disc that has anomaly mastery with an attack percentage one to do more damage. Onto her Mindscapes, her M1 states that she regains 30 energy when she enters the battlefield, and that in investigation zone mode, this effect can trigger at most once every 180 seconds. Enemies in the Sweet Scare state have their all attribute res reduced by 10%, and the attribute anomaly damage and the sword of damage buff from her additional ability is increased to 130% of its original value, which is really good since it's pretty much a 600% increase from what it was prior, aka a 20% attribute anomaly damage and the sword of damage boost. The all attribute res is decent since it is a rare buff, but it isn't anything insane, and the energy at the beginning is also just decent quality of life stuff. For her M2, it states that when Yuzuha says EX special attacks or her ultimate hits an enemy, all squad members' damage increases by 15% and anomaly buildup rate by 15%, lasting for 40 seconds, and repeated triggers reset the duration. When a heavy attack hits an enemy that is not stunned, it will trigger a forced chain attack. Chain attacks triggered this way have reduced interrupt level, and forced chain attacks can only occur once every 20 seconds. Whenever another character enters through a chain attack, Yuzuha regains 1 sugar point, and Yuzuha's basic attack, Hard Candy Shot, its cooldown is reduced by 25%. This Mindscape is also really good because it increases her allies' damage and anomaly buildup rate even more, while also reducing the cooldown of Yuzuha's basic attack, Hard Candy Shot, which just speeds up her rotation and thus increases the DPS of the team. She is also able to force chain attacks every 20 seconds, which is also an incredibly powerful buff to your team DPS. For her M4, it states that the damage of Yuzuha's assist follow-up attacks increases by 30% and anomaly buildup rate by 20%, and it triggers a quick assist when it hits an enemy, which is decent for anomaly application, but it's nothing special. For her M6, it states that she gains 1 additional sugar point when successfully parrying an enemy attack using a defensive assist or her basic attack, Tanuki Cloak, and when using assist follow-up Stuffed Hard Candy Shot, you can charge her attack up to 0.8 seconds and release once you're done charging, or you can release at any time to fire an extra powerful shell at the enemy, and for every 0.4 seconds charged, Yuzuha consumes 1 sugar point to fire an additional powerful shell, each dealing 300% of her attack as physical damage. When any powerful shell from assist follow-up Stuffed Hard Candy Shot hits an enemy suffering Sweet Scare, it triggers 1 basic attack, Sugar Burst Sparkles Max, and when any powerful shell hits an enemy, all squad members' disorder damage multiplier increases by 105% for 40 seconds, stacking up to 3 times, with each stack duration being calculated separately. If Yuzuha is attacked while charging, she will automatically dodge the attack and immediately unleash the max charge attack. This Mindscape is insanely powerful for her DPS because of how high the multipliers become from her basic attacks, but also because of her sugar point regeneration increase. She also increases the damage of other allies that trigger disorder by an absurd amount. For my suggestions, I'd suggest going for her M2 because of the insane damage increase it gives to her team DPS, that being 60% more damage in total when including her M1 as well. Her M4 barely even does anything, so I wouldn't recommend that one, and her M3 and M5 both give a decent 4.5% damage boost to the team, so I also wouldn't suggest going for these. Her M6 however is insanely busted, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you have the money to spare, since it does cost around $2,000 at most. With that being said, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Goodbye.